Welcome, everybody, to another installment of
The Amira and Kyle Show,
where we give you the hot take of everything SUNY Oneonta. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Amira.
Today we talk about academics. We have an interview with Eileen McLafferty, the head of academic advisement, and we'll be telling you a little bit about classes, how to register, and all of that kind of stuff.
And our favorite classes we took in our time here.
Yeah.
Favorite class here?
So when I think about my favorite class here at Oneonta, two come to mind. The first being diversity in education with Dr. Seiter, who is a full-time third grade teacher at an Oneonta elementary school and a part-time professor here on campus. What I really loved about the class is that it took me out of my comfort zone. One of the requirements built into the course was that we tutored students at Job Corps in Oneonta. And so Job Corps is a place for students who didn't graduate from high school or are pursuing more education, didn't get to graduate for one reason or another, and are completing their education at a place called Job Corps. And so the students of our class went up there once a week and tutored them in either math or English. And it was a really great experience tutoring my student in math and getting close to them and hearing about their story. And so the second favorite class that comes to mind is children's literature with Dr. Dowdy. I really enjoyed this class because although it was for my English concentration, it really applied to my elementary ed major because it was children's books that we were reading, and it went up to young adult fiction. And she structured the class in a way that she was looking at children's literature through a multicultural lens, which I thought was fantastic because we read books about Islam, we read children's books about China, we read children's books about African Americans, and all of these different things. And at the end of the semester, for our final, we synthesized all of these books into one cohesive paper to hand into her at the end of the semester. And yeah. What has your favorite class been?
A favorite class so far since I transferred here was research methods. It's a requirement for a psych major. I had Dr. Kaufman. He was just great because he was so smart that classes ran 50 minutes, but he would go over 50 minutes because he had something to talk about every class. He also brought his dog, which was kind of fun and therapeutic. And the coursework was kind of hard, but he made it fun because he would be everywhere trying to focus on one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really entertaining and very educational.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Learned a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learned a lot.
Nice.
All of you who are new students coming in, how are you going to get your schedule? First part is that my staff is going to, the academic advisement staff, I don't want to say my staff, that's not right. The academic advisement staff is looking at your academic advisement form, your likes, dislikes, strengths, weaknesses, the things you told us that you wanted to major in or were interested in. Classes you're bringing in, classes you don't want to take, whether you're playing a sport, whether you have a learning disability. We're taking all of that into consideration, along with the transfer credit you brought in, and we're going to register you in 3 or 4 courses. This schedule is not set in stone. It is merely a template to get you started, because if I asked all of you to create a 5-course schedule that met your gen ed, your major, your related work, your upper division, your liberal arts, your residency requirements, that were 5 days a week, didn't conflict, didn't create conflicts with all of your other activities, that'd be a pretty high road to toe your first semester. So we're going to try to do some of the heavy lifting for you and get it started. It also allows us to make sure that the person who's a psych major gets a psych class before the person who's an English major who would just like to take psych as an elective. So we want to be sure that people who need classes get them, and then the people who want them get them as the second choice, and then we're going to leave room for you to make whatever changes you want. Those of you who are transfer students, you'll have the opportunity from July through the beginning of August to work with an advisor remotely. They'll be sending you an email to your oneonta.edu email telling you how you will get in touch with them or how to schedule an appointment, and you're gonna work remotely with them in order to make changes to that preset schedule and or complete it. For those of you who are going to be coming as freshmen, even if you're bringing in college credit from high school, you're a freshman, you're going to be doing your scheduling when you come to orientation in August. And for you, we'll have you in 3 or 4 courses. Again, it is not set in stone, you can make changes to that. We're gonna have 60 faculty advisors, and during the Friday and Saturday of orientation, some of you will be going through a system where you meet with those advisors, and eventually all of you will meet with an advisor to review that schedule and make changes. So by the end of Saturday, everybody will have a full schedule before you walk into orientation on Monday. And then those first 5 days of school, you can still make changes. So if you go to a class and you say, wow, this class is not for me, come on into academic advisement, we'll make a schedule, we'll make an appointment, and then we'll sit down and we'll work on your schedule with you so that you can have the schedule that's best for you. Our goal is to set you up for success, not for failure.
So our first question is, how do I know which classes I need to take for the following semester?
So there are a number of ways that any student would figure out what classes he or she needs. The first would be to be looking at your degree works document, which is an outline of all the courses that are required. Everything with a red box means that you still need something.
Mm-hmm.
Everything with a green check means that you've completed that course. And anything with a blue teal day, a little wavy line, is calm down, it's okay, you have that course in progress, and when you're done with it, it'll turn into a green check.
Mm-hmm.
So you've used your degree works
Yeah, of
document.
course.
All the time.
Do you find that it's very helpful in terms of helping you know what classes you need to
Very
take?
motivating because it tells you your credit requirements and your degree requirements.
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm almost done. I'm like, yay.
Yeah, it's really satisfying when an entire section is
Yeah.
green checked off.
So degree works is going to be the first piece, but remember that that's just a tool that outlines the courses that you need. You still need to work with your faculty advisor on a regular basis to understand the sequence in which you would take courses. And if you look at the college catalog and you pick up your major, there's a link to a 4-year map, which gives you a general sense of how one might take classes over the 4 years. Granted, everybody brings in different transfer credit at different times, takes their courses in slightly different sequences, so that's merely a guide. You still need to work with your advisor to know exactly what that sequence ought to be.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Our next question is, so it's coming towards the end of the semester. I'm thinking about what I'm taking for next semester. How do I register for those classes? And how do I know when I'm able to register for those classes?
Okay, so let's start with the when, because that's the really easy one.
Okay.
When it's coming time towards pre-enrollment, you'll get an email telling you that it's time to look at your records in Web Services. In Web Services, you'll be able to click on your registration appointment time, and it will tell you that your registration begins at, let's just say 11 o'clock on a Wednesday, and it's gonna run until the whatever closing time there is. Usually there's a good 2-month window there for you to be working on your registration. Obviously, time is of the essence because hundreds, if not thousands, of students are doing their registration, so classes will disappear quickly. You don't want to delay, but you also don't want to skip class in order to do your registration.
That's right.
In terms of planning for that registration, having met with your advisor, knowing the types of classes you should be looking for, you should be able to then, the minute the schedule comes out, start making and planning a schedule. We do have products called Course Scheduler, which allows you to put in the types of courses you want to take, and it will give you permutations of all the different 4 or 5 course schedules that you have in mind. So if there are 10 sections of a communications class and you want to take Intro to Communications, you know you're going to get at least 10 different schedules because they're going to put each of those sections into your schedule as an option. In terms of actually doing your registration, you go into Web Services. You can put in the course reference number or CRN number of the courses that you want, or you can just do searches for this course, click that you want that course, tell the system to register you, and as long as you have the prereqs and the courses available, you'll be registered in that course.
Perfect. Super convenient that it's all online.
It's all online. So students have control, but use your resources. And so not only do you have your faculty advisor, but you have your department chair. If those people are not available, that's what the professional advising office in 107 Netzer is for. And also in all of the new student buildings, we're going to have academic team members. The freshman halls will have 2 ATMs and the transfer hall will have 1. So there will be students who can answer some of your questions, and they'll be holding office hours, and then also you can come here. So you've got lots of layers of places for help. So if you say nobody could help me, maybe you didn't try hard enough to find us. Come find us. We're here. Just remember that there are 6,000 plus of you, and there are 6 of us. So 1,000 to 1 ratio, you need to give us a little time. Don't expect that you can walk in and be seen immediately. You might need to have an appointment the next day or maybe 2 days later. But we try to be as quick and efficient in terms of seeing everybody who needs to see us.
That's actually a great segue for our next question. So you talk about academic advisement, our faculty members, these ATMs. How do we make meetings with all of these people?
So let's start with ATMs in the halls.
Okay.
They will have sign-up sheets. They'll have their office hours posted, so you'll know when they're available, when you can meet with them. In terms of your faculty advisor, you should go to their office and find out what their office hours are, find out what their process is for making a schedule, because every faculty advisor is going to do that differently. Some might want you to do things online, some might want you to do paper sign-ups, you never know. When it comes to this office, you can either send an email to the academic advisement email. It's academic.advisement@oneonta.edu. Please tell us what days and times are good for you, and we'll pick one and send you an email and tell you when you're scheduled. If you just send an email saying, can I have an appointment, we're gonna play email tag back and forth, and by the time you choose a time, we may have given that appointment to somebody who walked in. If you want an appointment right away and you want to know that it's scheduled at your real convenience, you can also come into 107 Netzer and just talk with the secretary and we'll make an appointment for you. During the first 5 days of school, we do appointments on a walk-in basis, so we just have sheets, because so many students want to see us during that add drop period that you just sign up for an appointment that works for you and you walk back out. We don't
That's
even do
wonderful.
computerized appointments.
Yeah.
We're trying to find some kind of scheduling software so that students can just go online and schedule, but we haven't been able to find the robust type of scheduling software that we want.